Okay, in my last video, we were talking about positive affirmations, how to use them, when to use them, why to use them. But have you ever tried to use positive affirmations only to feel worse, like you're lying to yourself? Like if you're standing in front of a mirror saying, I'm confident, I'm happy, I'm loved, I'm wealthy. But deep down, there's a voice inside of you that's just scoffing, saying, no, I'm not. What if I told you that the reason affirmations often don't work isn't because they're bad or you're saying the wrong things, is because you're skipping a crucial step. In the next couple of minutes, I'm going to show you why forcing positivity can backfire and what actually works to rewire your subconscious so that you're not just repeating words without actually believing them. You don't need to lie to yourself. Okay, part one, why traditional affirmations can make things feel worse. A lot of people use affirmation to force a new belief. And it can work because we need repeated exposure to an idea for our minds to start seeing through that lens. But here's the problem. If you don't actually believe what you're saying, your subconscious picks up on the lie. And instead of feeling better, you feel resistance. A friend of mine asked me one time, we were talking about Jordan Peterson's book, 12 Rules for Life. And in chapter 8 says, be honest or at least don't lie. And he asked me, he was like, is positivity, is like optimism, is that lying? And I'm like, it can be. If you feel awful about yourself and you say, I feel great, maybe that's a lie. If something terrible happens and you say, this is the best day of my life, it's probably a lie. And so you're going to feel resistance. And sometimes you're going to feel worse than you did before. So let's say, for example, that you feel deeply lonely. If you do affirmations in a traditional way by standing in front of a mirror, standing up straight and saying, I'm not lonely, I have friends, I'm loved, but inside your mind is screaming, that's not true. You're actually reinforcing the very belief that you're trying to change. Because even though you're consciously saying the right things, subconsciously, you're actually affirming the negative, which is I'm lonely. And the subconscious is the more powerful of the two. Our minds resent us when they feel we're trying to lie to force change. Even though your comfort zone might be a miserable place, change feels even scarier. The subconscious doesn't understand words. It understands feelings. And when you try to cover up pain with forced positivity, that pain fights back. Let's say I'm doing an affirmation that says I'm wealthy, right? And I stand in front of the mirror and I'm like, I'm a billionaire, I'm a millionaire, I have so much money. The brain's like, I know exactly how much money you have in your bank account. You're not a millionaire. What are you talking about? Why are you lying? And suddenly we're going to feel frustrated. We're going to start feeling resentful at the fact that we're not a millionaire or not a billionaire. And all of a sudden, you realize we've been affirming the lack of money the whole time, or we're associating negative emotions with the idea of money. So if lying to yourself doesn't work, what does work? The answer is actually pretty simple. You start where you are, not where you wish you were. Instead of denying what you feel, acknowledge it first, give it space, and then, and only then, do you introduce something positive that your subconscious can actually digest and accept. So how do we do that? What does that look like? We use something that I like to call compassionate affirmations. It starts like this. Step one, acknowledge the truth. Instead of fighting what you feel, name it, right? Instead of saying, I'm a millionaire, I'm a billionaire, say, I'm stressed about money. If you're feeling lonely, instead of saying, I have so many friends, I am surrounded by good people, say, I might have good friends, but I feel lonely. I feel genuinely alone right now. And that alone is powerful because your subconscious finally feels heard instead of ignored. It says, thank you. Give yourself permission to feel what you feel. It's been in there for so long. And you've just been saying, I can't feel this way. I have friends. I'm not allowed to feel like I'm lonely, right? But you do feel lonely. Give yourself permission to feel what you feel. Your negative emotions usually aren't the enemy. They're messengers. And if you ignore them, they get louder. If you acknowledge them, they soften. The next step is introduce neutrality before positivity. Once you've admitted the feeling, don't just jump straight into, now I'm happy, I'm surrounded by love. Instead, say something like, I feel lonely, I feel alone, and even though I feel alone, I choose to believe that that's okay. Maybe it's okay to feel lonely sometimes. Even though I have friends, maybe it's okay to feel like I'm alone in the midst of my friends. I choose to love and accept myself as I am, as lonely as I am, as depressed as I am. I choose to love myself right now. These statements work because they don't demand such a massive emotional leap or suspension of belief. They ease your mind into a new possibility instead of forcing it. Then reframe with self-compassion. Instead of just trying to erase the feeling, you shift it. Even though I feel lonely, maybe it's okay. I forgive myself for feeling lonely. I forgive myself for isolating. Even though I feel disconnected, I choose to see that healing takes time, and that's okay. If I need space, it's okay for me to need space. If I have friends and I feel like I'm not allowed to feel lonely, I give myself permission to feel lonely in this moment. But I don't necessarily want to feel lonely. Even though I struggle to believe it, I choose to open the door to the possibility that I'm actually loved. Notice how none of these phrases deny the perceived reality of loneliness. They expand on it. They say, yeah, you might feel lonely, and that's okay. I forgive myself for feeling this way. I love and accept myself as I am right now. They plant seeds of change in a way that your subconscious can actually digest and accept. So next time you catch yourself using an affirmation that feels like a lie, it feels frustrating, don't force it, right? Pause, acknowledge what is real for you right now, introduce kindness before you rewrite your own script. Because transformation doesn't happen through fighting yourself, it happens through understanding yourself. And this clicked for you, try it out. Let me know in the comments what affirmation you're working on. And if you want more real, psychology-backed ways to rewire your mind, hit subscribe. I'm diving deeper into stuff that actually works. No toxic positivity, just real change. Be kind to yourself. You deserve it.